Have you ever wondered if there's a grain of truth behind those ancient legends that have survived for millennia? Almost everyone knows someone, a distant uncle, a seasoned sailor, or a lone hiker, who swore they saw something unexplainable in the deep woods or out at sea. Today, we're diving deep into 7 beings that have fueled our nightmares and our scientific curiosity for centuries, exploring the thin line between myth and reality. This is part 2 of our journey into the unknown, and I promise you, this list is much more detailed and immersive than the first one. Our journey begins in the misty, mirror-like waters of Scandinavia. WH number 1, the Nix, Nukken, ere the legend of the Nix, or Nukken, takes shape. The Nix is a shape-shifting water spirit, usually appearing as an incredibly attractive man playing a haunting violin to lure the innocent toward the water's edge. In some ancient sagas, it is said that you can actually learn to play the violin from him if you offer a sacrifice, such as a black lamb, at a crossroads near a stream on a moonless night. However, you must be extremely careful. His music is so hypnotic and soul-stirring that many lose their minds or forget their own names before they can even learn their first stroke of the bow. He serves as a personification of the unpredictable and lethal dangers lurking beneath the surface of seemingly still lakes. Furthermore, some legends claim he can transform into a majestic white horse known as the Bäckahesten, tempting weary travelers to ride him before diving straight into the deepest part of the river to drown them. Locals in rural Sweden still warn children not to approach the water when the mist is thick, as that is when the Nix is said to be most active, searching for a soul to share his eternal loneliness. It is believed that only by calling his name out loud can one break his magical spell and escape the watery grave he prepares for his victims. Number 2. The Gremlin. Forget the cute or mischievous Hollywood versions. The true legend of the Gremlin is much darker and finds its roots in the high-stakes, high-stress environment of World War II. British Royal Air Force pilots began reporting tiny, malevolent saboteurs that appeared mid-flight to cut vital wires, unscrew bolts, and tamper with engines while the planes were thousands of feet in the air. Some veteran mechanics even swore they found small, oily fingerprints in narrow cavities of the fuselage that were physically unreachable for any human hand or tool. These creatures were often described as technical parasites that didn't just cause damage, but seemed to feed on the chaos, mechanical failure, and growing fear of the flight crew during combat missions. To this day, engineers and tech enthusiasts still jokingly, or perhaps nervously, blame gremlins whenever a complex system fails, for no logical reason despite perfect maintenance. Pilots in the 1940s believed that the only way to appease a gremlin was to leave out a small bowl of engine oil or a bit of chocolate in the cockpit as a peace offering. Some accounts even suggest that gremlins lived inside the radio frequencies, causing static and distorted voices to confuse navigators during night flights. The folklore grew so strong that the famous author Roald Dahl, who was a pilot himself, wrote a book about them to explain the inexplicable mechanical hiccups of the warbirds. Number 3. Grand Maha Deep. Within the freezing, unexplored reaches of the Arctic Ocean, a creature is said to lurk that makes even the mighty blue whale look like a mere toy. This massive sea monster, rumored to be over 2,200 feet long with 6 glowing white eyes, is a fascinating phenomenon of the digital age and modern internet folklore. Global researchers often puzzle over the bloop, a powerful, ultra-low-frequency underwater sound recorded in 1997, which some theorists interpret as the territorial call of this hidden prehistoric titan. Rumor has it that the creature lives at such extreme depths that the immense water pressure has caused its skin to become as dense and hard as reinforced steel over thousands of years of evolution. While skeptics point to calving icebergs as the source of these sounds, believers argue that 95% of our oceans remain unexplored. Its 6 eyes are said to allow it to see in a 360-degree radius, even in total darkness, making it the ultimate apex predator of the lightless abyss. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that Grand Maha isn't just an animal, but an ancient biological entity that regulates the ocean's temperature by moving vast amounts of water. Tales from deep-sea miners occasionally mention massive shadows moving beneath their platforms, shadows so large they block out all sonar signals for minutes at a time. Number 4. The Griffin. Combining the terrifying majesty of the eagle with the raw strength of the lion, the griffin is one of humanity's oldest and most respected symbols of authority. As far back as 3000 BC in ancient Egypt, and later in the empires of Greece and Persia, it was revered as a sacred guardian of gold mines and divine treasures hidden in the craggy mountains. In the world of heraldry, the griffin stands for eternal watchfulness, as it was widely believed that the creature never slept, staying awake for centuries to defend its riches to the death against any intruder. It was even claimed in medieval texts that its talons would change color in the presence of poison, which led kings to pay a fortune for drinking cups supposedly made from griffin claws. Though these were often just rhinoceros horns, creatures were often depicted as being 8 times the size of a standard lion, capable of carrying a full-grown horse and its rider into the sky with a single flap of their massive wings. Their nests were said to be lined with pure gold nuggets, which they gathered from the cracks in the mountains where they resided far above the clouds. Interestingly, some paleontologists believe the myth of the griffin started when ancient nomadic people found the fossils of the Protoceratops, a dinosaur with a beak and a frill that looks remarkably like a winged lion's head. The griffin remains a symbol of the fusion between the earthly power of the beast and the heavenly vision of the bird. Number 5. The Loch Ness Monster. Nessie is arguably the most famous resident of Scotland, a long-necked being that has been sighted repeatedly since the first recorded encounter by the Irish monk Saint Columba in the year 565. Despite numerous hoaxes and the famous surgeon's photo that turned out to be a toy submarine, the fascination with the peat-stained dark waters of Loch Ness remains completely unbroken by modern skepticism. Modern environmental DNA analysis of the lake water recently failed to find any dinosaur genes, but it did reveal a massive, unexpected amount of European eel DNA in every single sample taken from different depths. And some researchers now suggest that Nessie might actually be a group of eels that grew to an extraordinary giant size due to a rare biological mutation or the unique nutrient-rich conditions of the loch. Whether it's a prehistoric survivor like a plesiosaur or just a giant fish, the economic impact of the monster brings thousands of hopeful tourists and professional hunters to the shores every year. Many locals still believe that the loch has secret deep-water tunnels leading directly to the sea, allowing the creature to come and go as it pleases without being detected by sonar. There are also stories of land sighting, and where the creature was seen crossing a road near the water, looking like a dark, leathery slug with a long, swaying neck. The mystery is fueled by the fact that Loch Ness contains more fresh water than all the lakes in England and Wales combined, making it a perfect place for a giant to hide. Number 6. Cerberus. In the depths of Greek mythology, Cerberus is the massive 3-headed hound that guards the gates of the underworld to ensure that no living soul enters and no dead soul escapes the realm of Hades. However, interest in this myth spiked in 2003 when strange reports surfaced from a town in Italy, where locals swore they saw a multi-headed, fast-moving creature near the entrance of ancient, crumbling catacombs. 3 heads are often interpreted as symbolizing the past, the present, and the future, all keeping a synchronized watch over the threshold between life and death. While the mythological beast had a tail made of living snakes and a mane of serpents, modern biological science notes that polycephaly, having multiple heads, is a real, albeit rare, occurrence in reptiles and mammals caused by genetic defects during development. Ancient writers like Hesiod claimed that Cerberus had 50 heads, but the version with 3 heads became the cultural standard, representing the 3 stages of human life: youth, adulthood, and old age. It was said that his bark was so loud it could shatter stones, and his breath was a toxic fog that could wilt entire forests in a matter of seconds. Legends say that Cerberus could only be lulled to sleep by beautiful music, as seen in the story of Orpheus, or defeated by incredible strength, as seen in the final labor of Hercules. Even today, the image of the 3-headed dog serves as a powerful metaphor for the ultimate guardian that cannot be bribed or bypassed. Number 7. The Yeti high in the treacherous, wind-swept peaks of the Himalayas between Nepal and Tibet, the abominable snowman, or Yeti, is said to dwell in total isolation from the modern world. Since the famous British Everest expedition of 1921, explorers and mountaineers have been obsessed with chasing giant, human-like footprints found in the eternal ice at altitudes where no human or known animal could possibly survive. Several remote mountain monasteries even preserve what they claim are Yeti scalps, and skeletal hands as sacred relics, which have been venerated by monks for many generations as proof of the wild man of the woods. While modern DNA tests on these artifacts often point to rare, ancient species of Himalayan brown bears or polar bear ancestors, the idea of an undiscovered bipedal primate living in the thin mountain air remains a powerful part of local culture. Witness accounts describe a creature nearly 8 feet tall with thick, shaggy fur that changes from reddish-brown to white, depending on the season and the altitude. Local Sherpas treat the Yeti with great respect and fear, believing that seeing one is often an omen of an approaching blizzard, a deadly avalanche, or streak of terrible bad luck. Some even claim the Yeti has supernatural powers, such as the ability to vanish into thin air or communicate through telepathy with those who wander too far into the sacred peaks. Whether he is a missing link in human evolution or a spirit of the mountains, the Yeti continues to be the ultimate symbol of the unexplored corners of our planet. There they are, 7 legendary creatures that prove our world might be a bit more mysterious, crowded, and terrifying than we think. Each of these stories carries a piece of our history, our deepest fears, and our endless desire to discover something new in the darkness. Which of these creatures do you think is most likely hiding out there, just waiting to be spotted by the right camera lens?